and welcome to the Nursing Information Session. I'm Shelley Miller, the Nursing Program Director.
And I'm Donna Chambers. I'm the Associate Nursing Program Director. So glad you're here today.
We'd like to talk a little bit about our nursing program. Just as a general overview, our applicants who come into the nursing program who are selected are eligible for an Associate's in Applied Science degree from our Associate Degree Nursing Program. Graduates from our nursing program are eligible to take the RN licensure exam. The starting salary for new nurses in Oklahoma range from about $53,000 to $56,000 annually, and the average annual salary for RNs in the state of Oklahoma is about $63,000 according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. OCCC's nursing program is accredited by ASIN, which stands for Accreditation Commission for Education in Nursing. Their website is listed on our program materials and on our nursing webpage. We are also an approved school from the Oklahoma Board of Nursing. OCCC's nursing program is the largest nursing school in the entire state of Oklahoma. We are a top-ranked program, and we are ranked number 2 out of 44 RN schools in Oklahoma.
We are so excited about our program. Not only, as Director Miller said, is it one of the largest in the state and a top ranked, we are very proud of our Nclex pass rate. That licensure exam is one of the things that measures how good a school is, and OCCC is without a doubt one of the highest, if not the highest in the state, BSN and ADN alike. We have consistently increased our Nclex pass rate every year, and last year, 2019, we were at 97%, above 97%, and we are so proud of that. It has gone up every year, and we can't tell you how excited we are about how hard our faculty and our students work to achieve that goal.
That's right, Ms. Chambers. One of the things that really makes our program so wonderful, well, we have several things really, but our faculty, like Ms. Chambers mentioned, are top-notch. They are really here for student success. It is a partnership, and they want you to succeed through your educational journey. Another reason why our students are so successful is we have a very long-standing, solid curriculum. We implement current trends in healthcare throughout the way, and so our students always get the latest and greatest information. OCCC offers 3 different nursing pathways. The traditional nursing pathway is a 2-year program designed for the traditional nursing student. The Career Ladder pathway is specifically designed for LPNs and paramedics wishing to return for their RN degree. It is an 18-month program with summers off. And lastly, the Baccalaureate to Associate Degree Nurse Accelerated Pathway. It's very accelerated at 10 months. It is designed for those individuals who have a minimum of a bachelor's degree or higher. More information about each of the 3 pathways are located on our nursing webpage.
Director Miller has talked about a lot of things, and we've discussed how fabulous our program is, but students are always concerned about financial aid. We have a financial aid program that matches every other school in the state. It is eligible for financial aid, but everybody comes with a different package. You need to meet with your financial aid advisor and discuss your particular situation. However, just know one of the big worries for our students is how much aid you're going to have. Our nursing program is a 9 credit hour per semester, even if it's divided into 8-week courses for 5 and 4. The total for the semester is 9 hours. Just know that's about 3/4 aid time. So for the credit hours, if you have a half credit hour load, you'll get half financial aid. If you have a full load, you'll get full aid, and the 3/4 aid comes with the 9 hours, depending on your situation. So be conscious of that. Don't overload your credit hours situation in order to just be full-time for no reason. If the bill's not full-time, why would you need to work for full-time aid at the risk of your success in the nursing program? Director Miller is going to help us with the special situation for international students.
So because each semester is 9 credit hours, international students really need to pay close attention to meet their federal requirements for a full-time load, which is typically 12 credit hours. So please feel free to meet with the International Student Aid Office as well as the academic advising for that advisement piece. OCCC offers flexibility throughout the nursing program. Students can petition the nursing program director for a delayed progression if a life event occurs unexpectedly. There's also the ability to transfer between the different pathways. For example, a student who is in the accelerated program, if they choose to go at a more balanced life pace or a slower pace, they can petition to go to the traditional nursing pathway. They must all meet certain criteria in order to transfer between pathways. The traditional nursing pathway is a 2-year program designed for the individual looking to become a registered nurse. We admit 72 students each fall and spring semester. The fall cohort meets for class twice a week, and they are a daytime group. They meet typically from about 9 to noon, although during the pandemic there has been some altered class delivery formats. The spring cohort is typically more designed for the evening student, although they do have labs and clinicals that may fall on a week morning, weekday, weekend. So the spring cohort meets twice a week, just like the traditional fall cohort, but class time is typically in the evenings from 5:30 to 8:30. Lab and clinical are mandatory, and clinical is about 1 day a week, and labs vary depending upon which lab group you are in. The spring cohort meets 2 times a week, and this cohort typically meets in the evening for class from 5:30 until 8:30. Labs and clinicals are mandatory, although a lot of times with this pandemic, the time delivery format has been altered. So clinical is 1 day a week, and labs vary just depending upon the lab group that you're signed up for. The Career Ladder Pathway is specifically designed for LPNs and paramedics. It's an 18-month program with summers off. We admit up to 72 students each fall semester, and this class is typically overfilled. We will accept a few more applicants as there is a nursing shortage. The first course is a nursing role transition course. It's a 5 credit hour hybrid, and it is designed to be taken along with microbiology, just in case you haven't taken micro yet. The spring semester entails mental health and med-surg courses. This is where the clinical component is added in, so clinical and labs and classroom. The final semester for the Career Ladder Pathway is the fall semester, which entails critical care and leadership concepts. This course also includes a clinical component, as well as lab and classroom time. Labs and clinical are mandatory. The Accelerated Program, or BADNAP program, is a very rigorous and academically demanding 10-month nursing program. We admit up to 45 students each spring and summer. It is a hybrid format designed for students to learn in the classroom in person and with online modules. Labs and clinical are mandatory. What's unique about this cohort is students go to clinical twice or 2 times each week instead of like in the traditional and Career Ladder Pathway where they just go 1 day a week. Labs are very depending upon the group, and clinicals are mostly on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So if an individual has any weekend military or faith-based commitments, this may not be the program for you. Most of our students in this cohort do not work, and they have a very good support system.
We're going to try to cover a couple of, well, several frequently asked questions that we get from students all the time. So Director Miller and I will try to fill in some of those question marks that you might have. The first question I want to ask Director Miller is, how would a student apply?
Great question, Ms. Chambers. So the application process is unique. It is all of the health professions, in fact. It's a selective application process. Students can't just enroll in the courses individually. They have to submit an application.
So Director Miller, can you explain about the application fee and the process?
Sure. Students are required to pay a $20 application fee. Instructions are located right below the application link posted on the nursing webpage. Another question that we have is, how does the student know if the application was successfully submitted?
So that's a great question, and we've had some trouble with that, and I think it's all fixed. So the first and most important thing is, if you've successfully submitted your application, you will get a pop-up notice and an email. So if that doesn't happen, you have not applied, and it's critical that you don't wait till the last minute. Our applications are due at noon on various days throughout the year, and if you wait till 11:45 to call me in a desperate panic, I don't know that I can help you. So please try to submit your application early and make sure you get that notification. You need to wait 6 to 8 weeks after the deadline for each application before you start worrying about the notification. You can call health apps. No, don't call health apps. Email healthapps@occc.edu for clarification or confirmation after the 6-week period. If you don't hear anything, that's not a good sign, and it's worth the follow-up.
So a few troubleshooting tips would include, if you're having difficulty with your submission and when you click on the submit button and you don't see anything happen, there are 3 possibilities. One is that every screen that you're on the application, there are little red asterisks, and so something may not be clicked or uploaded properly. The second thing that could be a potential issue is the time frame. The application process is timed out at 1 hour, so be sure and have all your documents prepared and ready to go within that 1 hour time frame. And then a third tip is, be sure, and if you're struggling with it submitting properly and you're not getting a verification email, sometimes if you're using a Mac computer with a specific operating system, that can be an issue. So you might try a different computer or contact IT for assistance.
So one of the other things that we have to worry about with our applications are the course substitutions. Students sometimes come from other schools, and they're not sure if a certain class will transfer and be accepted from our nursing program's requirements. How does a student know if they need a course substitution, and how do they file for one?
That's a really great question. We have a lot of students attending classes at various colleges and universities, so be sure and submit your transcripts and have records, evaluate them to make sure that those courses are coming over as equivalent. Some institutions have a different credit hour system that can cause some issues. I would highly recommend that each person applying to the nursing program meet with a nursing student success advisor. You can call 682-7849 to schedule an appointment. Appointments are available for in-person, by Zoom, or by phone call. And lastly, Ms. Chambers, how much does the program cost?
Well, the BADNet program, being accelerated and compressed, will cost the same amount as the traditional program, but it will have to be paid for in a quicker time frame. Other than that, all costs are listed in our prospective student nurse handbook. It's not a handbook, is it? It is a prospective student information packet. And there's a link to that right on the same nursing webpage that you can find the application. It's a big red button, just click on it. It's got tons of information, costs, prerequisite requirements. What else does it have in it? Everything.
clinical requirements, accreditation. There's a
Right.
lot of valuable information. We recommend that students peruse through that.
And when you look at the cost, remember that cost sheet that we include, there's 3 of them. One for BADNAP, one for traditional and career ladder. Some of those things on the cost list are things like your uniforms and scrubs, bandage scissors. There are things on there that might bump up the price and kind of scare you away, but it'll have it by semester, so you'll know what you have to come up with at each semester.
Ms. Chambers mentioned prerequisite courses. It's important to make sure that students applying have all the required prerequisite courses. Please meet with the Student Success Advisor to make sure that those courses not only come over as equivalent, but you have all of the prerequisite courses. Those can be found listed in several different places. One is in the Nursing Student Handbook, one is the College Catalog, the other is the Prospective Nursing Student Information Packet. That one is probably the most helpful for a quick look of all the different courses. Ms. Chambers, how competitive is it to get into the nursing program at OCCC?
Every nursing school is very competitive. There's a nursing shortage, and there's a lot of people who would love to be a nurse. So it's no different for OCCC. We have about, what would you say? She already covered that we accept about 72 traditional students. How many do you think we have on the alternate list or the wait list?
Probably about 150, depending on which program. So for traditional, we typically have about 200 applicants, but that can vary per semester.
Right.
And the accelerated program, we have fewer students but it's also very competitive. The career ladder pathway has become very popular as many of our LPNs and paramedics are pursuing their RN education. What about special requirements? Are there other special requirements once an individual is accepted into the nursing program?
Right. Most nursing programs, all nursing programs also have requirements that are just specific to them. We have background checks that have to be done, drug screens, and we also have immunization requirements for the hospitals. You can start collecting those. You'll find a list of those immunizations in that wonderful Prospective Student Handbook packet, and we would love for you to start collecting them. Do not just get your baby shots records from your mom or your doctor's office, things like that. Don't start getting the things that require annual renewal until you're told to. You need to be accepted in the program before you start spending money on immunizations and CPR. Wait until you're told to. The acceptance letter will have much more specific details. I've already mentioned that nursing students are required to have a background check and a drug screen, but there's some specific things that a student who's worried about the results of that might be able to do. You want to tell us about it a little bit?
Sure. So nursing is really set at a very high standard, and so individuals who may have any misdemeanor or felony charges on their record and they're worried about that, you are most welcome to make a confidential individual appointment with myself, or you can submit for an initial determination. The initial determinations have more to do with the felony charges, and you can go to the Oklahoma Board of Nursing. There's a link in our nursing student prospective packet and also on the website on how to do that. The cost is about $95, and again, it is paid to the Oklahoma Board of Nursing. We want to thank you for the opportunity to visit with you briefly about our nursing program. If you are ready to begin the next steps in your journey, please call the Nursing Student Success Advisor for your appointment, 405-682-7849. Thank you so much.